Welcome to this tutorial on classification and function of carbohydrates, brought to you by Medical Biochemistry Power Capsule Series. This video covers the following CBME curriculum topic: discuss and differentiate monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides, giving examples of main carbohydrates as energy, fuel, structural element, and storage in the human body. Carbohydrates stand as one of the fundamental macronutrients essential for sustaining life. Along with proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids, carbohydrates too are essential biomolecules, without which life as we know it would not have formed. This video explores the chemistry and functions of carbohydrates in human physiology, shedding light on their biochemical significance. Not only do they serve as the primary source of energy, but they also contribute to various structural, metabolic, and regulatory functions vital for maintaining life. Carbohydrates are organic compounds composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. Their general chemical formula is CH2ON, where N represents the number of carbon atoms in the molecule. Carbohydrates encompass a diverse group of substances, including sugars, starches, and cellulose among others. While they share a common chemical composition, they exhibit a wide range of structures and functions, making them heterogeneous in nature. However, there are carbohydrates that deviate from the general chemical formula. For instance, deoxyribose has the formula C5H10O4, which deviates from the general formula. Additionally, some carbohydrates may have functional groups or substitutions that alter their chemical formula. Carbohydrates are classified based on their structure, size, and properties. They exhibit remarkable diversity. Monosaccharides are the simplest form of carbohydrates, consisting of a single sugar molecule. They serve as the building blocks for larger carbohydrates and are classified based on the number of carbon atoms they contain. Monosaccharides can be further categorized based on the functional groups they contain, such as aldoses and ketoses. Examples include trioses, tetrases, pentases, hexases, etc. Disaccharides are composed of two monosaccharide units joined by a glycosidic bond. Common disaccharides include sucrose, lactose, maltose. Disaccharides serve as energy sources and are found in various foods, including fruits, dairy products, and grains. Oligosaccharides consist of a small number of monosaccharide units linked together by glycosidic bonds. They are commonly found in dietary fiber, as well as in cell membranes and glycoproteins. Oligosaccharides play roles in cell recognition, immune function, and intestinal health. Polysaccharides are large, complex carbohydrates composed of multiple monosaccharide units joined together. They serve various structural and storage functions in living organisms. Examples include starch, which is a polysaccharide found in plants, serving as a storage form of glucose, glycogen, the primary storage polysaccharide in animals, stored in the liver and muscles for energy, cellulose, which is the structural polysaccharide found in plant cell walls, providing rigidity and support, and chitin, a polysaccharide found in the exoskeletons of arthropods and cell walls of fungi, providing structural support. Functional carbohydrates include compounds derived from natural sources that exhibit specific health benefits beyond basic nutrition. Dietary fiber is an example. It is the non-digestible carbohydrates found in plant foods that promote digestive health, regulate blood sugar levels, and lower cholesterol. Cellulose forms a major portion of dietary fiber. Carbohydrates are involved in a wide range of functions. These functions highlight the diverse roles that carbohydrates play in sustaining the human body as well as health and vitality, underscoring their importance in maintaining overall well-being. For clarity and better comprehension, these functions may be grouped under the 6 different headings, as shown in the box. Carbohydrates serve as the primary source of energy for the human body, providing readily available fuel for cellular processes and bodily functions. Glucose, derived from starch, is essential for brain function, serving as the primary energy source for cognitive processes and other aspects. Some carbohydrates contribute to the structural integrity of cells and tissues. They are essential constituents of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Carbohydrates serve as precursors for the synthesis of other biomolecules, including amino acids, nucleotides, and fatty acids, which are essential for building proteins, DNA, RNA, and lipids. This is a very important and essential function performed by carbohydrates. Dietary fiber, a type of carbohydrate found in plant-based foods, aids in digestion and promotes bowel regularity by adding bulk to stool and facilitating its passage through the digestive tract. Carbohydrates, such as glycogen, serve as energy reserves stored in the liver and muscles, ensuring a readily available source of glucose during times of fasting or increased energy demand. Complex carbohydrates, such as heteropolysaccharides and mucopolysaccharides, have several functions. Carbohydrates play essential roles as signal molecules and receptor molecules in cellular communication and recognition processes. Starch is the reserve carbohydrate in plants and important source of glucose for humans and animals. Glycogen serves as reserve carbohydrate in animals and important source of glucose during fasting stage. Cellulose has structural function in plants. Inulin is found in plants and can't be digested by humans. It's used in some renal function tests. Dextran is used as plasma expanders in treating hypovolemic shock. At this stage, it's important that we get the terminology right. Otherwise, things might get pretty confusing. I hope you have no confusion regarding monosaccharides, disaccharides and oligosaccharides. What about the others? And which ones are different and which ones are the same? Polysaccharides, having one type of monosaccharide units, are homopolysaccharides or homoglycans. Starch and glycogen are examples, and their functions have already been mentioned. Polysaccharides, having different types of monosaccharide units, are heteropolysaccharides or heteroglycans. Heteropolysaccharides containing uronic acid and amino sugars are called mucopolysaccharides or glycosaminoglycans. Both the names are used interchangeably. Hyaluronic acid and heparin are two examples. Proteoglycans are those molecules where carbohydrate chains are attached to a polypeptide chain. If the carbohydrate content is less than 10%, it is termed glycoprotein. If it is more than 10%, it is termed mucoprotein. Both are included within the proteoglycan category. We are already familiar with the functions of simple carbohydrates like monosaccharides and disaccharides. We also know about the important functions carried out by homopolysaccharides. So, let's now discuss the functions of mucopolysaccharides and proteoglycans. Various mucopolysaccharides perform a wide range of important functions in the human body. Chondroitin sulfate is found in cartilage, tendons, ligaments, and the walls of blood vessels. It provides structural support and elasticity to connective tissues and is important for maintaining joint health and mobility. Hyaluronic acid is abundant in synovial fluid, skin, and connective tissues. It acts as a lubricant and shock absorber in joints. It also contributes to tissue hydration, promoting skin health and elasticity. Dermatan sulfate is present in skin, blood vessels, and heart valves. It aids in wound healing and tissue repair and helps maintain the integrity and flexibility of blood vessels. For sake of reference, the constituent units of these mucopolysaccharides have also been mentioned along with their names. Keratin sulfate is found in cartilage, cornea, and bone. It contributes to the structural integrity and transparency of the cornea and also plays a role in bone formation and mineralization. Heparin is primarily found in mast cells, lungs, and liver. It has anticoagulant properties and inactivates components of the coagulation pathway. Synthetic heparin is widely used as a pharmaceutical preparation. During the recent COVID pandemic, heparin was widely used and it proved to be a life-saving drug. Heparin sulfate is located in the basement membrane of epithelial tissues and blood vessels. It facilitates cell-cell communication and signaling. It plays a role in inflammation also. Carbohydrates, particularly proteoglycans, serve as versatile molecules in cellular signaling and recognition processes, acting as both signal molecules and receptor molecules. Their interactions with other biomolecules play essential roles in various physiological processes, ranging from immune response and embryonic development to hormone signaling and cell adhesion. The functions of proteoglycans have been enumerated here. Functions include signal molecules, cell-cell recognition, immune response, embryonic development, receptor molecules, hormone signaling, adhesion, pathogen recognition. In general, glycosaminoglycan complexes, or proteoglycans, are found in extracellular matrices of connective tissues, cartilage, and bone. They provide structural support and resilience to tissues, regulate cell adhesion, migration, and signaling through interactions with growth factors and other proteins. This mnemonic here will help you remember the various functions performed by proteoglycans as mentioned previously. Let me briefly mention about the important functions of various proteoglycans in the human body. Proteoglycans serve as signaling molecules in cellular communication pathways, particularly in processes such as cell-cell recognition, immune response, and embryonic development. One of the most well-known examples of carbohydrate signaling is the role of glycoproteins in cell recognition and adhesion. Carbohydrates, often in the form of glycoproteins or glycolipids, are present on the surface of cells and are involved in recognizing and interacting with other cells. These interactions are crucial for processes such as tissue development, immune response, and wound healing. For instance, immune cells recognize pathogens through specific carbohydrate patterns on their surfaces. Carbohydrates can act as antigens, triggering immune responses. Many pathogens, including bacteria and viruses, display unique carbohydrate structures on their surfaces called antigens. These antigens can be recognized by immune cells, such as antibodies and T cells, leading to the activation of the immune system to fight off the infection. Carbohydrate signaling molecules are involved in various stages of embryonic development, including cell differentiation, migration, and tissue patterning. Carbohydrate-protein interactions play a crucial role in guiding cells to their appropriate locations and forming complex tissue structures during development. Carbohydrates also act as receptor molecules, participating in cell signaling pathways by binding to specific ligands and initiating cellular responses. These carbohydrate receptor interactions are involved in processes such as hormone signaling, cell adhesion, and pathogen recognition. Certain carbohydrates serve as receptors for signaling molecules like growth factors and cytokines. When these signaling molecules bind to their carbohydrate receptors on cell surfaces, they initiate intracellular signaling cascades that regulate various cellular processes, including cell growth, differentiation, and survival. Carbohydrate receptor interactions mediate cell adhesion, which is crucial for maintaining tissue structure and integrity. For example, selectins are carbohydrate-binding proteins that facilitate the adhesion of immune cells to endothelial cells in blood vessels during inflammation and immune response. Carbohydrate receptors, such as toll-like receptors and C-type lectin receptors, play a critical role in recognizing and responding to pathogens. These receptors detect specific carbohydrate patterns present on the surface of pathogens, triggering immune responses to eliminate the invading microbes. You may pause here and go through this flowchart, which is a summary of the classification of carbohydrates. This flowchart should further clarify matters. And given here is a list of the main functions performed by various types of carbohydrates. To some extent, this mnemonic, which is rather long, will help you remember this list. Please understand that mnemonics are quite helpful during the initial stages of your learning process and can be very useful when you are required to write long descriptive answers. Furthermore, they can come to your aid when you are seated on the hot seat facing your examiner during oral presentation. So pause and go through this list and correlate with the mnemonic. In closing, we have delved into the world of carbohydrates and have gained a preliminary idea about their profound impact on biological systems. From their fundamental role as energy sources to their crucial function in cell recognition and signaling, we have seen that carbohydrates perform a wide range of functions. In the subsequent presentations, we shall continue to unravel other aspects related to their metabolism and applied importance.
Thanks for watching this video. Our next tutorial in the Medical Biochemistry Power Capsule series is titled Carbohydrates, Chemistry and Reactions. The tutorials presented in the MBPC series are not intended to be a substitute for your textbooks. However, we feel that these tutorials can prove to be very valuable as complementary educational aids and for purpose of rapid revision prior to exams. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more exciting content, and share with your friends. And do keep watching our channel to remain ahead in the game.